Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2 just recently wrapped up, and this is going to be my post-fight recap and reaction to the fight. Usyk beat Fury again, and this time seemingly more decisively. I want to talk about my thoughts of the matchup. I'm going to give my scorecard out. We're going to go in detail about what happened in the fight, and we'll also look at what is next for both fighters. Let's jump into this post-fight recap right away. Now, first things first, the scorecard that was read off at the end was 116 to 112, favoring Oleksandr Usyk, and it was on all three judges' scorecards. This was a unanimous decision. There was no weird outcome with one strange outlier scorecard. Even the AI judge actually had the fight 118 to like 110. I thought that was crazy. I feel like when you look at how the fight played out, it was definitely Usyk's fight for sure, but it was competitive. And Fury still had some good moments in the fight. Now, I am grateful that we had such a clear-cut scorecard like this because there has been terrible judging in boxing for years. And seeing that the judges got it perfectly right here, I loved it. This scorecard that they read off actually perfectly aligned with my own. My scorecard was also 116 to 112 for Usyk, but I had a lot of doubts about the official cards being the same. Anthony Joshua had the fight a lot closer. He had it, I believe, 7 rounds to 5 rounds. And I think that this fight was clearly 8 rounds to 4. And I felt as though it was competitive in moments, but Usyk winning the majority of the fight. Now, when you look at the scorecard breakdown, you can see early in the fight, I listed the rounds that I thought each fighter won. Fury did take the first 3 rounds on my scorecard, and he looked pretty good. He made Usyk a bit uncomfortable, used his size, backed Usyk up a bit, hit him with some decent shots. But Usyk adapted really well, took round 4, and you could feel a shift in momentum, even with Fury closely edging out round 5. And then it was kind of just cruising 6 to 12 for Usyk. He just seemed to have Tyson Fury's timing down, and he just looked like the superior fighter, and he adapted to the style that Tyson Fury was looking to bring. I feel as though Usyk is now kind of in like the heavyweight GOAT status conversation. And if he keeps on winning, I mean, it's going to be hard to deny him. The dude's undefeated. He's 38, but at heavyweight, that's really not too old. He's 23-0. Usyk is special. And even though he is one of the smaller heavyweights of this era, coming in at 226 here and only 6'3", giving up a ton of weight with Fury coming in at 281 and being 6'9", he doesn't look small in the ring. He's able to sit in there and mix it up with Fury. And to be honest, the punches that Usyk lands do more damage than the shots that Fury lands. Like when Usyk hits Fury, you can feel Fury being moved back. If Fury loops a shot on Usyk, sure, it touches and Usyk definitely feels the punch. I'm not saying that Tyson Fury is a feather fist, but there is a substantial difference in impact of shots from Usyk to Fury. And I guess you can kind of see in the physicality. Usyk has an elite athlete physique, whereas Tyson Fury has, you know, the Gypsy King body type. Now, amongst these rounds that Usyk did win, I did feel as though round 12 was a close round. Round 10 was a close round. Round 8 was a close round. And during the live stream that I did for the fight, there was a small handful of people that actually thought Fury could potentially get the fight or it even end up being a draw. But I didn't see it that way. Now, we're so used to injustices in boxing that I thought to force the trilogy, there was a real chance of a robbery win by Fury. But I'm really grateful that's not the reality that we live in. Now, I do want to talk about some of the best aspects from the fight by both guys. Even though Fury lost, he deserves some credit. I want to look at their best aspects, and then we'll go over what I think were some of Fury's worst aspects. Let's first look at the winner, the real heavyweight champ, Oleksandr Usyk. You saw his best aspects out there. The big left hand. He's a southpaw. When he caught Tyson Fury with his left hands, it was substantial impact, and it had Tyson Fury a bit wobbled. Now, Tyson Fury never went down in the fight. He didn't really do the chicken dance or anything like that. It didn't seem like he was going to get knocked out at any point, but you could tell that Usyk's power put this respect on the side of Fury towards Usyk that kind of made Fury a bit hesitant to close the gap confidently. Fury was very inaccurate in the fight. That's another thing that we can bring up is actually the stats from the fight, because Usyk was very precise, whereas on the opposite side, Fury was simply not. Let's look at the stats here. I'll make them a little bigger. I'll even cover myself. You can see 42% to 28% as far as accuracy of punches. That's a substantial difference. Usyk threw like 80 less shots, but landed a fair amount more. What did he land? Like 30 more, 179 to 144, throwing 423 to Fury's 509. Fury was pretty inaccurate at 28% for a fight like this as compared to Usyk, who was hyper accurate. Now, the body work from Usyk was also something that paid dividends late in the fight. He was ripping combinations with shots upstairs, but then he would also drop some shots to the body of Tyson Fury. Fury was very hesitant to let his right hand go from orthodox because he knew Usyk would be firing that missile of a left hand every time Fury would overthrow it. Now, when Fury was quick with his right hands, he was very accurate and actually touched Usyk well. And we'll bring that up when we talk more about the best aspects from Fury. What I loved about Usyk and what I do believe makes Usyk such a great boxer and in the GOAT conversation to match up with any heavyweight that has ever lived is the fact that he is super adaptive. He adapted to Fury's plan. Fury wasn't able to bully him in the clinch. He wasn't able to touch him up from the outside. Even if Usyk is moving backwards, he's still firing back, and Fury simply inaccurate because of hesitancies to getting caught with big shots. That's the truth of it. Usyk also was in better physical condition and finished the fight very strong. There was zero wilt in Usyk. There was no moment where Usyk seemed like he was falling apart. Even when Fury caught him with a couple of big shots, especially the uppercuts, Usyk still got right back in the fight and looked to fire back massive shots, which made Fury uncomfortable. Fury had moments in the fight, but when you look at the overall fight, I felt Usyk controlled. And that's why he won 8 rounds to 4. That was the right scorecard. There was close rounds through the fight, but Usyk was the rightful winner. Now, to look towards the side of Fury, because I don't want this video to come off as me bashing the Gypsy King. I love Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is probably my favorite boxer of this generation, and I tune into all of his fights. And as a guy who, more so is hardcore into MMA than anything else, for Fury to always draw my attention, that demands a lot of respect, okay? Fury's best aspects were his good pressure early, but as Usyk adapted to the game plan, he couldn't really be effective anymore. He would try to rip little shovel punches in the clinch, try to tie up with Usyk and grab the back of his head and kind of throw like a bare knuckle FC style uppercut. I know the boxing pundits are going to hate when I bring BKFC into it, but that technique of grabbing the back of the head and ripping an uppercut is a gray area of legality, right? A slight little tie clinch action. He did land some nice uppercuts and at one point had Usyk a bit wobbled with a big uppercut, but not on Queer Street to Maine. He wasn't out on his feet, but it was a shot that had Usyk okay, I'm going to get you back though. Usyk never gave up on himself. His resilience is crazy. Until the very end, he kept pushing Fury. He kept making it a dogfight, even when Fury would have big moments. And most fighters would wilt with the Fury pressure and the Fury physicality and the Fury, 226 to 280 pounds. The difference in weight is absolutely insane. It's a 50 plus pound weight advantage. That's insane. 226, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 55 pound weight edge for Fury. But you wouldn't think that watching the fight take place. And I think that makes it even more impressive for Usyk because he took out the giant who never lost the fight. He only lost to friggin' Usyk. Fury's only losses are to Usyk because Usyk's the man. Now, I said right hands, but didn't do enough. There was some lightning speed right hands that Fury was throwing, and I was kind of alluding to this point earlier, talking about Usyk's best aspects in the fight. When Fury would touch with the right hand, it was magnificent. He landed some lightning quick 1-2s, but I swear to you, he was terrified to throw them because he would get caught overthrowing at times and being out of position, and Usyk would nail him with his powerful left hand. And Fury doesn't respond well to Usyk's punches. Now, Fury has always had a very good chin, and we've seen him get up to his feet, but if Usyk's landing clean and precise consistently, it's going to fall apart. Tyson Fury, very evident, it's very evident he was worried about the Usyk power. I mean, obviously, he'd never admit this. After the fight, he left the ring. He didn't even do a post-fight interview. He acted as if he felt he won the fight. Even his promoter, Frank Warren, said that, which I think is just an outlandish take. He definitely lost. It would have been a robbery going any other way but Usyk. Stop it. Stop it. It was a close fight. It was competitive. There was moments for Tyson Fury. He won rounds. He won exchanges, but more of the fight was won by Usyk, and that's why he got the dominant unanimous decision. It was actually a dominant win. Now, some of the worst aspects from Fury I felt I needed to bring up. He struggled with Usyk's versatile combination shots. Usyk would mix punches to the head and body. He would throw more than one or two at a time. He'd be doing like 3-punch combinations. He'd go up high, rip Fury to the body. And when he'd touch him to the body, even though it didn't show like a visible damaging effect to Fury, it's not like he looked hurt to the body. What that did is I feel as though the tires were slightly flattened. Like as we got into round 9, 10, 11, 12, Usyk seemed to have more steam. Now, to be fair, early in round 12, Tyson Fury came out like a cannon on Usyk and was trying to give him everything, but he couldn't deal with Usyk's counter shots. Usyk is tremendous at throwing heat back, and he doesn't let you land one and then he just backs away. He's not a guy that is looking to just win decisions, even though, yes, he won this by decision. Usyk, until the end, was trying to get the win, trying to get the finish. There was no stalling. He wasn't like, oh, well, I'm way ahead. Let me just stay away from Fury and trying to escape till the end of the fight. No, he was mixing it up with Tyson Fury until the final bell in a back and forth fight. Now, obviously, Fury was slower. Aside from a couple of moments where his 1-2 looked like grease lightning, and we kind of saw that true, Fury potential that he's shown in the past, Usyk was clearly faster than him. Now, this has been a consistent thing with Tyson Fury. He's not a power puncher, even though, like, you look at his wins, right? Tyson Fury has KOs. He knocked out Derek Chisora, Dillian White, knocked out Deontay Wilder, right? He's beaten some guys by KO. But when he takes on the best of the best, for the most part, he tends to go into the later stages. He had that split decision with Francis Ngannou. Ngannou, an absolute physical specimen coming over from MMA, and Fury overlooking him, and then Fury nearly losing that fight. This was a way better Fury than the Ngannou fight. I also want to get to that point because I do know that Ngannou is still calling Fury out and is really pushing hard for them to do the rematch. I'll talk about what I think is next for Fury shortly, and I'm not going to give you any hints right now. Stay tuned. Fury was inaccurate. You can say, oh, but I've seen boxers land, at lower percentage rates and win. Okay, he was very inaccurate for a fight against somebody that's so accurate. You can't land at a 28% clip to your opponent landing at a 42% clip. You can't do that with Usyk. It's just not possible. Fury at times was like looping his shots, throwing too much fat on him. He was overthrowing punches at times. He did show me visible frustration in certain moments of the fight, and I could tell that Fury was falling apart. Even though his heart was always in it until the end, he knew going into that final round he was down. I don't care what the reaction was from him post-fight, acting as if he won. He certainly lost, and he knew going into round 12 he needed the finish. No way he thought he was ahead. That's impossible. There was close rounds, but he would lose majority of the big punch exchanges. The cleaner and more powerful shots were all Usyk's, and that's why he's the rightful winner. Fury was too inaccurate. Fury was too slow. And he struggled with combination work from Usyk. He was too quick, too clean. Now, when you think about what's next, for Usyk, it's obvious. It's Daniel Dubois or Joseph Parker. I mean, Dubois and Parker are set to face off. I favor Dubois in that fight. Dubois coming off the life-changing win over Anthony Joshua. And honestly, the first fight with Usyk was a bit controversial with the dubious low shot. Funny, Dubois, and I'm saying dubious. Little low shot that maybe wasn't legitimate, but was called as legit. I feel like Daniel Dubois versus Usyk 2 is very compelling because of competitive moments with their first fight and Dubois seeming to be the guy right now. If he takes out an OG like Joseph Parker, I'll be hard-pressed on them not making the fight, especially with Dubois getting in the ring, calling Usyk out, and Usyk saying, yes, he said, Turkey, let's make the fight. He called Turkey Al-Sheikh. Let's make it happen. Let's go. I'm ready. No problem. I love the mentality that Usyk has, too. He doesn't play any games. He will literally fight anybody. Usyk is special, man. We got to enjoy him in boxing while we have him because he's a rare breed type of fighter, a true Ukrainian savage. I like this fight. And I think Usyk will probably win again, but I would love to see Dubois have a chance. Now, if Joseph Parker pulls off a big upset, that would be kind of crazy because I don't know, man. The Joseph Parker, I'd say I don't want to shit on Joseph Parker. He's a quality fighter, right? But I don't think Joseph Parker is to the same level as a guy like Usyk. And if they do face off, I think Usyk would probably dominate that fight. At least there's some curiosity in running the Dubois rematch. Now, looking at Dubois versus Parker, he's like a minus 225 favorite is Dubois, and I do expect him to win. That fight's coming up February 22nd. It's actually a boxing match to watch. That card is stacked with Beterbiev and Bivol rematch in the main. You even got Shakur Stevenson on the card. That's actually really good. For boxing, they're bringing some bangers. Zhilei Zhang, another dangerous heavyweights fighting. The heavyweight division in boxing is popping off, and it's worth watching if you like combat sports as a whole. If you're not much of a boxing fan, what I say to people that aren't is at least watch the big heavyweight fights, because it's always cool to see who's the best with the 10-ounce gloves, straight hands fighting in the heavyweight division, the baddest in boxing, really. And I think Dubois is going to win against Parker. And I think that the fight between him and Usyk in a rematch is what's next. Now, for Tyson Fury, it's retirement or Anthony Joshua. I do feel like it would be a damn shame if we never got to see Tyson Fury run it with Anthony Joshua. This was a fight that, Turkey Al-Sheikh was hoping for. Anthony Joshua obviously coming off a pretty bad loss. He got knocked out against Daniel Dubois in the fifth round. So it hurt his stock a bit. He was actually scoring the fight live, and he had it a lot closer than many. But regardless of that, we're not, talking about Anthony Joshua as a future fight judge. I just think that the fight should be made. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, but I do think they have to do it in London, probably in Wembley. Like, do the Riyadh season thing. Have Turkey Al-Sheikh there for sure. He'll be a part of the product because Turkey Al-Sheikh and the Saudis have literally saved the sport of boxing. But you have to do that fight in the UK. And I think they should have like a fun title on the line because the winner of that fight arguably is the best ever from that part of the world. I mean, Lennox Lewis is obviously in the conversation as well, but at least this modern era, Battle of Giants, Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury seems like a dream fight, seems like a super pay-per-view, and it's a fight that everybody's still going to watch regardless of the result. Joshua lost to Usyk twice too. It's just Usyk is the man. But seeing Joshua tangle with Tyson Fury still has me very interested. I want to see that fight. I'm intrigued by the matchup. Anthony Joshua took the bad loss to Dubois. In the fight before, he made easy work of Francis Ngannou that gave Tyson Fury hell. So there's an argument that looking at, MMA math, I'll call it, but boxing math, maybe Joshua would have a chance to surprise Tyson Fury, even though I'd anticipate Fury is a, favorite heading into that fight. A slight favorite, like minus 150, but definitely going to be looking at favorite status. Joshua's loss to Dubois shouldn't derail him too much. He was a massive 500 favorite going into that fight, and that was just a crazy upset with Dubois, who I think is underrated and also super young and primed, where, Joshua's like 35. He's at, more so the end of his career than a guy like Dubois. So that is the fight that I want to see next. Is retirement or it's Joshua. Obviously, Francis Ngannou could throw his hat in the mix. And if Fury did lose to Joshua, maybe the Ngannou fight would make more sense. But I don't think Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou is the next fight to make right away. Now, either way, right? We had, I think, a quality night of boxing. It was a really good back and forth fight. I don't think Tyson Fury should be too disappointed in himself. He literally put himself in like solitude leading up to the fight. For like 3 months, he didn't talk to his wife or kids. And I think he gave a great performance. It was awesome. I don't know how many times he's going to do that though, right? Like how long can you do that for? Tyson Fury, 36, towards the tail end. How many times is he going to put himself in solitude and stay away from his family? I don't think too many times more. But maybe 1 or 2 more fights. I think Fury's got 1 or 2 more left in him, and I think it would be a damn shame if Joshua and Fury never fight. That will be the fight that we wondered what could have been. So I pray that that does happen in 2025. I definitely think Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to book it. And then, if Fury did win, there is a world where they would set up Usyk Fury 3. I won't lie to you. I could see them trying to do it, especially with Frank Warren, the promoter of Fury, literally claiming that the fight was a robbery. I think that's such an outlandish claim. It was a dominant win for Usyk, but is what it is. That was claimed by Frank Warren, the promoter. He's trying to promote his guy. And I'm sure Fury interviews will be releasing and he'll be reacting to the fight. I don't know, man. We might have to do like a Tyson Fury cope video. If Fury's out there claiming robbery, I might have to do a reaction to Fury's post-fight interview. I'm going to have to stay tuned for that because we got no UFC for a bit, so I'm dialed into the boxing game for now. Overall, close and competitive rounds, but throughout the whole fight, Usyk landed the bigger shots. I wrote shit down throughout the fight. Round 4, Usyk landed 2 big lefts. Round 6, Usyk wobbled Tyson Fury. Round 7, Usyk with the bigger and cleaner shots. And then, several of the other rounds, close, competitive, but Usyk doing a tad bit more, landing a little bit cleaner, finishing the round stronger. And I do think the right man got the decision at the end of it. Usyk, the damn unified champ, absolutely badass. I guess with Dubois, he'd become the true unified champ because now Dubois is the IBF belt. But Usyk's the man. He's the #1 heavyweight on the planet. And if Dubois beats Joseph Parker, definitely a fight to make. If Parker wins, honestly, I say give him the shot too because he'll have a belt. And I think Usyk should have every title in boxing. All the alphabet soup belts should be around his shoulders, waist, his ankles. I don't know how many there are. We'll have them all over him, bro. His whole crew's going to have to carry a damn belt around their waist with the way Usyk's winning these fights. For Fury, he'll be back, but he ain't beating Usyk. It's just not happening. That's my post-fight reaction. What do you guys think? Do you agree with the scorecard that I did? 116-112, 8 rounds to 4. Do you agree with the rounds that I scored for Fury and Usyk? I want to hear from you guys. What'd you guys think of the fight? I thought overall, it was a very good boxing match. Like, there is sometimes some snooze fest in boxing. This was a certified cult banger. I'm fucking sweating because I'm screaming and yelling over here on the video, and probably because I'm wearing a jacket. That's not helping me out, but I'm heating up with excitement, man. This was a fun fight to watch. This was a fun fight to react to live. And honestly, for boxing, this was a really fun post-fight. I hope you guys enjoyed the post-fight reaction. If you like this style of post-fight reactions, definitely let me know. I'm definitely open to bringing this style of post-fight to even, some of the big UFC fights as well. So let me know in the comments. Smash the like button on your way out. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to it. W's in the comments if you got nothing to say. Love you guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.